Hello, and welcome to interviews for the North American Systemic Constellations Conference coming up in Virginia Beach this October 5th to 8th. And we are super excited that today we have a featured presenter, Susan Ulfelder. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see you again. Great. Susan's talk is Emotions Are the Blocks That Divide. Releasing them are the bridges that connect. This sounds fascinating, Susan. Why don't we start with, though, my favorite question. If you were at a cocktail party, how would you describe your work?
Family Constellations is a healing modality that clears the energy blocks in your family system so that the love flows transgenerationally from your great-grandparent, your ancestors to your great-grandparents, to your grandparents, to your parents, to you, and then on past you through your children.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you, Susan.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about Emotions Are the Blocks That Divide, Releasing Them Are the Bridges That Connect. This sounds very exciting.
Well, for me it is. For most of my life, emotions have been my issue. And in my family, we were not allowed to be angry. And so I had to spend a lot of time learning about emotions myself, knowing that they were okay, normal, and natural, and then how to clear them. And so I ran across a book called Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils by Carolyn Mine. And from that moment on, I had a way to clear all of these emotions. And it's a very simple, elegant, and efficient technique that literally moves energy. And so I started incorporating it in my hands-on healing practice. At the same time, I was learning family constellations. And that was in the late 80s, early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. And it turns out just in the last couple of years, I've been combining the two. And so now I'm actually helping to remove the energy block in a constellation that either movement or healing sentences don't move. And so this is one more technique that I've learned to allow that energy to flow.
Okay, so can you give us an example of how you would spot someone that's not able to release that block?
Mm-hmm. In a workshop not long ago, a very large workshop in which there were great-grandparents, that both of the great-grandmothers were really angry for different reasons. And the energy didn't move. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and we needed to clear that energy. And once we cleared the anger, everyone in the constellation felt it. It's just like in clearing a block with either movement or a healing sentence. And you know how the movement the energy just starts to move. It turns out that the other great-grandmother didn't eat, and she would feed her children before she would take a little bite herself. And she had very little money because her husband was a traveling salesman and had another family in another town, etc. And it turns out her great-grandson is having a problem eating disorder. And so in clearing her pattern and having it come down the family system, he's now seeking help for his issue.
Wow, that is so nice.
Yes.
And you're right, elegant.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, tell us more about some of the things that you may talk about in your workshop.
I'm going to just do regular constellations. And when things get stuck, use the technique to clear the emotional pattern. It turns out that I can either start from somebody individually and having them visualize their family system behind them, and whichever side the emotional pattern is on. And then I can put out mats or have representatives come and stand on those mats to represent those family members. So I can start from an individual working on their emotional pattern and then set it up as a constellation. Or I can start with the constellation and wait till the emotional pattern emerges to use the technique to clear it. So it works both ways.
Excellent. And now, where do the oils come in? Do you actually bring them into the constellation?
Yes, I do. And there are specific oils for specific emotions. And I run through the technique, which was very simple. And I have the person smell the oil and apply it to certain parts of the body that are related to acupuncture alarm points. And when I have them make a statement out loud, sound is the first manifestation of energy and form, and it starts the whole process moving.
Oh my goodness, this is fascinating.
Oh, it really is.
Wow, this will be quite the workshop. Holy moly. And does anyone have to have, I guess they don't really have to have, do they? Oil experience,
Not at all.
essential oil or knowledge?
Not at all.
It could
Just a willingness to release the emotional pattern effectively, efficiently, and elegantly.
Wow. And do you teach this in part of your trainings that you do in the DC area?
I haven't specifically taught this, but I utilize it, and I show it as I do teach it. I started teaching it this past year. So it wasn't anything that is formally part of the program, but people are so interested they want to learn.
Right. Yes.
When I bring it into the workshop that they're observing, they want to know more about it.
Absolutely. Sure. We all want to help our clients clear this.
Exactly. So I've started having workshops that are specifically oils and releasing emotional patterns in constellations. And there seems to be a lot of interest in that now. So that's how I'm teaching it.
You are on to something, girl.
I think this is my contribution to the family constellation healing modalities.
I was on a call earlier today, and this woman from Belgium was talking about something, and I realized that actually she thought it was exclusive to Belgium, but I've seen it here in North America. I didn't have a chance to interrupt, but once one person starts developing something, all our consciousness are connected.
Exactly.
And we start getting and sharing the ideas. Oh, this is beautiful. Well, I have another question for you, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Why should people come to the conference? What are your interpretations?
Well, as part of my training, I tell everyone that they need to see as many family constellation facilitators as possible, because everybody has their own style and they're not going to do it the way I do it, you know? So I want them to see as many different people as possible doing constellations, and what better place than a conference that focuses on constellations, that shows how everyone is doing it their way.
Yes, and it's all perfect.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And once you learn the basics, then you and your personality and everything you've ever learned comes into what you do.
Right. Yes. And then you'll feel a freedom to be yourself, probably do.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is wonderful. Well, I didn't watch the time. Did you watch the time?
We didn't. Did we run over this time?
Oh no, I'm sure we haven't. I think it's right on, to be honest. Is there anything else you'd like to add, though? You've been so succinct.
I can't think of anything.
Actually. Okay. Well, then that's a sign that it's all's good. Well, thank you very much, Susan, for your time. And I want to ask our audience to go and look at the website, NAS-constellations.org. Susan's workshop, Emotions Are the Blocks That Divide, Releasing Them Are the Bridges That Connect, which works beautifully with our theme. What's our theme? I forget the wording now. What is it, Susan? Do you remember? I'm so mesmerized by your great title. Okay, I may have to cut that out.
That's fine with me too, Linda.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Susan.
It's been a pleasure being with you.
Been a pleasure for me too. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.